sometimes. IMCA TV bringing you heat race number 2. It is Cole Murphy, the X2M Jr. out of Caulfield, Missouri, on the inside of the first row. On the outside, Travis Mosley, the 31M from Batesville.
And the second row, the 22C, Cody Maple out of Batesville, Arkansas, starting alongside the number 6. It's the Hall of Famer, the Batesville Bullet, Wendell Wallace.
Row number 3 from Jonesboro, Arkansas, the 56 of Hunter Alls. On the outside is Carson Wyatt from Brooklyn, Arkansas, the 72. And Jeff Taylor from Duncan, Oklahoma. He's in the 5T. He's a past winner of this event. I want to welcome everybody tuning in on the live look-in here on the social media channels. I am Chad Meyer. Bill Gilkey is with me. We are here at the Batesville Motor Speedway, the final night of the Race for Hope 71 weekend. 40-lap IMCA Modified A-Main here tonight. On the final night, it is a complete show each and every night. We have complete heat races, complete qualifying to line up our A-Mains here tonight. IMCA Modifieds earning second in the batting order. IMCA Stock Cars will conclude the night, and man, have we have had some IMCA Stock Car racing action. Be sure to head to IMCA TV. You won't want to miss the rest of the night here. We have had some, that's not hyperbole, we've had some great racing across all divisions as we are underway down the back straightaway. A car slow, but I think we're going to be able to complete the lap and stay green, as it is Mosley out in front of this one as we swing to the back straightaway.
Yeah, Travis Mosley of the Shaw Race Cars, number 31 out front. But here comes the Hall of Famer, Wendell Wallace, the Batesville Bullet, moving into second, and the Murphy car will slide back to third.
I stopped down and seen Wendell for a little bit here today, and they were trying to get the rear brakes to work a little better than they had been. Something was kind of plaguing him a little bit there. Thought they had a plan to make that better. Wendell in second, but don't look now. Jeff Taylor is on a run towards the front. Just got past Murphy as we got one facing the wrong direction here on the front straightaway. So hold the phone and hold Bill's calls at City Hall in Danville as we've got the yellow flag on track here right now.
Well, that's going to be...
Is that Carson Wyatt, maybe the 72?
Carson Wyatt there in the 72. Not sure what happened there, but it'll bring the caution out. Give JW time to line everybody back up here.
So Travis Mosley will refire from the top spot. Caution lights down, going to come to green. This time out of turn before. Mosley, Wallace, Jeff Taylor, 3 drivers in the Batesville Motor Speedway very, very well. And Jeff Taylor, wasting no time, was digging hard to the inside of Wendell Wallace that time. Wallace in the Cadillac on the back straightaway throwing some sparks, and we've got a 3-car melee going into the top of turn number 3, and we are back under yellow just as Jeff Taylor had taken a couple of positions here on the front straightaway. My goodness. So you've got Cody Maple in the 22C. The 72 is Carson Wyatt.
And I guess it's going to be Hunter Alls out of Jonesboro. Yep. They're at the 56.
So going to take, see drivers helping each other out there. Looks like everybody is okay down there in turn number 3 as Alls able to climb out of the car. The 72, Carson Wyatt, helping him out of his automobile. The helmet is off of Cody Maple down there, and just tough luck. And like I said, just the best news we can report is all drivers are out of their car. None of them are happy, I can tell you that, but thankfully they all certainly tried to help each other out of the car there, and everybody out walking around out of their cars. So that is the best news of all, as we've stopped the remaining cars here on the front straightaway while we work on cleanup. They're at the top of turn number 3. Well, now that we know everybody's okay, we'll work on a couple of other things. And like we said, great to have the Arkansas Motorsports Hall of Fame folks here, which obviously includes you. You got a hand in that here as well. We appreciate them being here. Larry Shaw was up here, and Wayne Brooks was up here. Wendell's out here competing, trying to win heat race here tonight, and obviously the finale. And just stop up and learn more about the museum, the American Automobile.
And I want to say that museum. The Arkansas Motorsports Hall of Fame is just very grateful to the Museum of Automobiles, the top Petit Jean Mountain, for providing some space to give these racers here in Arkansas. It's just not dirt track. There's drag racers. There's motorcycle racers. There's a lot, like I said, it's needed a great home for a long time, and we can't thank Bear Brantley and Roger Bates enough for making that dream come true up there at the Museum of Automobiles and giving it a great home. And it's just a central location for everybody in Arkansas to come out and see.
And now I'm going to plug a couple museums that are near and dear to my heart in my hometown right now. So if you ever make it to Iowa, make sure you look me up, Bill, or anybody else that might be tuning in. The Kasuth County Ag and Motorsports Museum sits on the fairgrounds where the Algona racetrack is. Also, the Iowa Hall of Fame and Racing Museum just opened its doors on the same piece of property. 2 museums for the price of one. Ton of racing history from across the country, in particular Iowa. You can certainly learn more by Googling Iowa Hall of Fame and Racing Museum and the Kasuth County Ag and Motorsports Museum. Come up and see us sometime. You'll enjoy a trip down memory lane. More racing coming up. Of course, there's still racing across the Midwest and across the country in IMCA TV. But we look ahead here to winter. Don't let the winter doldrums get you down. Be sure to tune in to IMCA TV January 21st through January 31st. The Pit Stop Motorsports IMCA TV Winter Nationals back at Central Arizona Raceway. Going to be bigger and better than ever. It's all on IMCA TV at the end of January. And then the Clash on the Coast, IMCA sanctioned event. A couple of different tracks. And look forward to IMCA TV being at the Clash at the Coast. Clash on the Coast. Of course, Peyton Taylor putting that show on again, and several drivers from this area make their way out, and from across the country make their way to the Clash of the Coast and the Winter Nationals at the Central Arizona Raceway. Well, got a couple of the cars cleared out, and now I'm going to try and get Hunter's car.
Hopefully it's not damaged too bad, and maybe he'll be able to return for a B.
Well, that's certainly the hope. I didn't really see what had precipitated that. We had such a great battle.
Yeah, we had such a great battle up front. We just didn't see that happen. But one good thing, they're all okay. And secondly, it was good to see all the drivers helping one another out of a very difficult situation over there. If you look in the backdrop of that photo, Chad, right there, what do you see?
T.J. Herndon. Yeah, T.J., he did admit he lost a little sleep over losing night number 1, and you and I would have done the same thing. Be out there. He's led more laps than anybody in the IMCA stock cars. Just had it get away from him on that late race restart, which can happen. But he made amends last night. He said, I had just enough in the tank there at the end to fend off and win.
Just drove a beautiful race.
Yeah. Well, and Patrick Lynn, we've talked about several drivers. He was plus 17 on night number 1 to finish third, was plus 7 to get to second last night, and he made it. He didn't lose by much last night.
No, it was a very close race here on the final lap. So looking forward to those IMCA stock cars as well tonight when future races come around. It would appear that the right rear tire and wheel are across the jersey barrier up there, and that's why we're having to take just a little bit of time to kind of set that car down as easy as we can. Don't want to do any more damage because, like I said, we'd like to see Hunter Alls back in a B tonight and try to get into this thing.
Yep, absolutely. Want to thank, and Mentioning B-Mains, want to thank Metalloid One Performance. Metalloid One Performance, we appreciate their sponsorship of the 2 B-Mains that we'll have each night. Tonight included in your IMCA Modifieds. We'll take 3 out of each to move into tonight's A feature in the IMCA Modifieds. We appreciate Kent's Firestone and VP Racing Fuels. Kent's Firestone and VP Racing Fuels. They sponsored the longest tow award down here, and Tim Ward was the winner of that. Was
I kind of thought you might be in the running for that.
Well, I had more miles to get here than Tim did, probably by about an hour and, I don't know, probably an hour and a half probably, but that's okay. We want to make sure racers are taken care of, and we appreciate Kent's Firestone and VP Racing Fuels for their sponsorship of the longest tow. It's going to feel like the longest tow. I know what the haul back to Iowa feels like after racing down here for 3 days. Sad to go, of course, excited to get home, but it's a long ride, my friend. It's a long day in the saddle.
I mean, I hate it for you, but I'm glad somebody's got a longer drive home than I have this week. So I'm usually the long distance award. So.
Appreciate everybody's patience here in the house, and of course certainly on the broadcast here tonight, as we looks like might still be on the live look-in here tonight. So appreciate everybody tuning in on the social media channels. Final night of the Race for Hope 71. As $1,500 to win your IMCA Stock Car A-Main later today. It'll be a $4,000 top prize for the Modifieds. We're not going to have somebody in the Modifieds win all 3 features, but if either Curtis Cook, last night's winner, or Wendell Wallace wins tonight, they would have won 2 out of the 3 features during the weekend, and that would be a $1,000 bonus for their efforts. Of course, Wendell Wallace was winner of the final night of the Race for Hope here a couple of years ago. It was good to have Curtis Cook make his way onto the stage.
An interesting story about the year Wendell Wallace won it. On used tires. Yeah. And if I'm not badly mistaken, as the story goes, Wendell showed up for the race and didn't even have a spare.
Well, that's probably true, because I stopped by and, seen him, that afternoon. And I think a little bit of a, maybe not a thrash, but I mean, he was working hard, getting ready, and then conservative stuff, which might be a factor here tonight, even though we're going 40 laps versus 71 and chatting with some of the drivers. More than likely, you're going to have to maybe take care of some of your equipment. And
you're going to, even with 40 laps, you're
going
to have to.
How about that? Right here in the house. And got us tuned in on the live look-in there on the social media channels. We appreciate checking that out. As
I was just going to say that even on 40 laps tonight, you're going to have to preserve some equipment in the early stages.
Yeah. Nate, just be careful. You know exactly what's on their social media feed, right? Before you start scoping out. I'm just kidding.
We're not going to turn the kiss cam on tonight.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. There ain't no kiss cam. And unless, if you want to lock lips with somebody that you're next to, I guess that's your choice. This is a free country, and we can put you on camera, I suppose. But I guess if you don't want to be seen, don't be doing nothing you shouldn't be doing, right?
Because if you are, JW will come up and take care of you.
Well, or as we've seen on social media, your company or your spouse may take notice. All right, good to have cars rolling. And how about that Maple in the 22C? Cody Maple rolling out there. It looks like going to tag the tail of this one. Hopefully everything is A-OK in the 22 machine. And able to continue in the heat race here tonight. Travis Mosley going to lead the field back to green. We threw the yellow before we had any cars across, so we had to go to the last completed lap. So obviously Jeff Taylor had the lead going into turn number 1, but we had thrown the yellow before we had completed that lap. We still have 7 laps remaining here in heat race number 2. And like I said, appreciate everybody tuning in on the social media channels, even the ones watching right here in the house with us here at the Batesville Motor Speedway. Gonna fire out of turn number 4. Bill, we're back underway.
And Travis Mosley in the Shaw race cars, number 31, leads it down into turn number 1, but here comes the old Batesville Bullet, Wendell Wallace on the high side, the Cadillac chassis car, but caution, going to come out of the speedway again is Cody Maple is up in the top of the wall of turn number 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, once he got under power and started making his way through the turns, something breaking on the 22C or was broken. It didn't, I guess, maybe play a factor until he got to that moment. But once he got to about midpoint of the corner, that car just kept pointing straight, and he just got on the brake pedal and unfortunately just had to bring it to a stop. They're at the top of turn number 2.
Well, I was hoping Cody came away a little unscathed from that incident over in turn number 3, but obviously there was something hidden that they didn't see, and it let go at the worst possible time.
Well, the wrecker was busy hauling away some other cars. We'll see if a simple push from Mooney is good enough to get the track clear, and maybe with some other issue with the car that he had to shut it down. But irregardless, unfortunately, some tough luck for the 22 here in this heat race.
You know, I was just noticing the top 3 cars, you got 3 different manufacturers.
You are correct.
You got Travis Mosley
Shaw race cars up
Shaw.
front.
Wendell Wallace out there in a Cadillac, and Jeff Taylor is in a Rage. So 3 different manufacturers in the top 3 in this heat race tonight.
Yeah, and they have all been fast, obviously, to get themselves in short order to the top 3. So Travis Mosley another time. I think everybody just wanting to get the laps made here and get things shook out. Mosley, nice and easy here to the starting area in turn number 4. We find green, and we're back underway.
And again, down in turn number 1, Travis Mosley leads it down into 1. Wallace is up on the high side of the speedway. Jeff Taylor down low. Mosley is going to lead it down into 3, and they're going to be 3 wide off of 4.
So Mosley still the leader. Wallace with a crossover move here on the front straightaway. The 6M car hauls it deep into turn number 1. Wendell Wallace, the new leader, but Mosley going to fight back to the inside. Wallace not afraid to scrape the outer wall down the back straightaway. Wendell going to lead this time as we go to 1.
And back down in turn number 1, Mosley will set up just a little short, trying to find some power down at the bottom of the speedway, but Wendell Wallace will power ahead down in turn number 3.
Boy, Wendell put his elbows up on that restart, wanted to make sure he got out front, able to try and maximize his passing point opportunities here tonight, and knew that both Mosley in front of him and Jeff Taylor alongside of him on that restart both had fast hot rods. Wendell out in front here another time at Batesville Motor Speedway.
Down in turn number 1, off of turn number 2, Wendell Wallace continues to show the way here at Batesville. Then Mosley in second, beginning to pick up some heat from the 5T of Jeff Taylor from Duncan, Oklahoma.
Jeff Taylor has made every A-main and Race for Hope 71 action since its inception. And I think he and Wendell, I'd have to look that again. I know Jeff Taylor for sure has made every A-main across its entire history. He sits now up into the top 2 as he'll take a slide for life all the way to the top. Jeff Taylor to second with 1 to go.
Wendell Wallace down the backstretch seems to have this one in hand. Can Travis Mosley run down Jeff Taylor down in turn number 3?
Well, Jeff Taylor and Wendell Wallace both have made every A-main since the inception of the Race for Hope 71. Wendell will win it. Jeff Taylor second. Travis Mosley third. And Murphy will finish in. Cole Murphy will finish in the 4th spot. Move on to heat race number 3. It'll be Spencer Hartwick in the 9 Junior on the inside of the first row. He's at Equipment Arkansas on the outside. From Cabot, Arkansas, that is Chad Phillips, the 11C, starting second.
And the second row, the 5F, Drake Finley out of Bryant, Arkansas, starting beside the X2M of Carl Murphy out of Caulfield, Missouri.
Row number 3 is Brent Hartwick, the 9H at Equipment Arkansas. Alongside it is Curtis Cook, Old Hollywood from Conway, Arkansas. The 601 will start 6th, and of course Curtis Cook winning here one night ago.
You know, Curtis Cook, what a performance last night.
Absolutely. Yeah, another, you talk about having the elbows up and having the nose down to the grindstone. Made sure he got it done here last night. So caution lights down. Waiting here just a moment. Going to fire out of turn number 4. Curtis Cook, of course, winning over John Wall last night. John Wall with a great run. Spencer Hartwick leading down the back straightaway as Curtis Cook passed a couple of race cars here early in this one. And Curtis going to take that 601, climb the ladder with it. It's all Spencer Hartwick leading Chad Phillips here on lap number 1.
And off of turn number 2, Chad Phillips in the number 11 trying to get down underneath Spencer Hartwick. Great battle for the lead down in turn number 3.
Hartwick under attack right now. Chad Phillips, the 11. Boy, giddy up in that 11 machine right now, the 11C, as Chad Phillips, the spurs firmly deep into the flank of that automobile. He leads. Spencer Hartwick second. Finley in third. Carl Murphy in the X2M completing, well, the top 5. I think I might have missed Curtis Cook. They're in the call amongst the top 4. Curtis Cook to the inside of Finley here on the back straightaway.
The battle for 3 heats up down into 3. Cook down at the bottom of the speedway, inching his way underneath Drake Finley down the front straightaway. They'll still be side by side down in turn number 1.
Yeah, great battle there. Again, of course, passing points awfully important here, and Finley going to lose some ground off the top of turn number 2. Curtis Cook out of Conway, Arkansas. He suddenly pushed up off the bottom. Man, did he happen to clip the inside and retaining wall? I'm not sure, but that thing suddenly drove all the way to the outside, Bill, and Finley got back around him.
Yeah, he just completely lost the handle coming off of turn number 4. We'll watch this time, see what happens. Looks good this time by. And Curtis Cook going to try to charge back up to 3rd.
Well, Curtis Cook back on the rebound. Brent Hartwick able to pick up a position here as well. It is still Phillips well in command of this one. This will come by this time as we've got 3 laps remaining. Spencer Hartwick second. Finley in third. Chad Phillips, the best he has looked here all week. Right now, if you're going to do it on the night that pays the most money. Phillips, your leaders. We head to turn number 1.
Yeah, Chad Phillips, not the best week so far, but looks like he's got those demons behind him tonight as he's showing some muscle here down in turn number 3.
Brent Hartwick closing ranks with Hollywood Curtis Cook here on the back straightaway. Brent Hartwick trying to pick up at least one more spot in this one. White flag in the flag stand. It is all Chad Phillips. The 11C, a 3 1/3 second advantage the last time across the line to Spencer Hartwick. Checkers up front. It'll be Chad Phillips winning it. Spencer Hartwick will cross the line in second. Then Drake Finley and Curtis Cook will hang on to 4th to wrap up heat race number 3.
You know, how about Drake Finley there? Just thinking a little bit about Drake Finley. A good race car driver from Central Arkansas. Started racing go-karts when he was 4 years old.
Wow. There was no way I was ready to race anything at 4 years old, I got to promise you. Heat race number 4 brought to you by IMCA TV. It'll be Adam Maple out of Batesville, the 37C on the inside of row 1. On the outside, it'll be John Waugh. He was second here last night in the 21. He's from Batesville.
And also from Batesville, Arkansas, the 17, Ashton Wilkie starting beside Searcy, Arkansas's Mark Norris in the 10N.
Row number 3 is Caleb Emerson from Weatherford, Texas, the 135, and alongside a past winner of this event, that is Zane DeVilbus, originally from Farmington, New Mexico, in the 18Z, now calls Marshalltown, Iowa home. And it seems like he ain't had a good draw all week. Caution lights down in the back straightaway. Adam Maple and John Waugh. Row number 1, as we said, John Wall last night. Good run, finishing second ahead of Tim Ward, Ashton Wilkie, and Peyton Taylor. Of course, Curtis Cook winning, as we described last night as well. Underway in this one, Maple with a good jump in turns 1 and 2. And how about Zippy D, Zane DeVilbiss from the 6th starting spot, already halfway through the field as he just rang up Ashton Wilkie. Zane DeVilbiss to 3rd as we go to turn number 1.
Well, Adam Maple, the local favorite here, he's out front. John Wow right there in 2nd. Had a great run in the feature last night. But like you said, Zippy's right there. It's the last night, and he knows it's go night tonight.
Yeah, Zane DeVilbiss, no stranger to victory lane here, has been there in an IMCA stock car. And when he did it in IMCA Modified in 2021, $50,000 was the top prize that year in the Race for Hope 71. And Zane DeVilbiss already passed 3 cars, and he's applying pressure right now to the 21 of John Waugh as we head the other way.
Down in turn number 1, Waugh down to the bottom of the speedway. DeVilbiss up just outside of him in a higher lane, but John Waugh is going to battle his way into 2nd down in turn number 3.
I don't think anybody has had their car on jack stands this week more than Zane DeVilbiss. Some of it was because, well, a water pump failed right away on day number 1 before they even started. But man, just keeps wrenching on that 18C. And boy, even more speed than last night as Zane DeVilbiss continues to work the inside lane. Got to give a nod though, Maple and Waugh solid here tonight. Not an easy task for Zane DeVilbiss or Ashton Wilkie in that 4th spot to track down and pass the top 2.
Well, John Waugh is going to drop down to the bottom, try to pass Adam Maple off of turn number 4. He'll do it. He'll get a shove from Maple as they go down into turn number 1.
To the back straightaway we go. How about John Waugh, your new leader down the back straightaway? Maple back to 2nd. He may lose that position as well. Zippy D with a big move. He's now to the top 2.
Waugh will continue to lead here at Batesville Motor Speedway. He'll push up to the top of turn number 2 just a little bit. That'll open the door a little bit for DeVilbiss down in turn number 3.
Well, does Zippy D have one more shot here at the top spot? We'll have a pair of laps remaining. John Waugh out in front. Zane DeVilbiss 2nd. Maple back to 3rd. And now Ashton Wilkie trying to track down the 3rd place driver of Adam Maple. Maple may not be safe in that position yet. We'll keep an eye on it as we come to the white flag.
Well, Adam Maple trying to protect that 3rd and final transfer spot, but he's got his hands full with Ashton Wilkie off of turn number 2. Wilkie is going to pull up alongside down in 3. How will it work out in 4?
We come to checkers here on the front straightaway. John Wall win it, Zippy D 2nd, and Ashton Wilkie late in this one. Arkansas's Young Money up into the top 3 at the end. And boy, Maple went from leading to 4th. Kind of some heartbreak there over the last handful of laps there. A good one in heat race number 4. 5th heat race. We'll grab the lineup for you. It'll be Brad Calhoun from Jacksonville, Arkansas, the 77 on the inside of row number 1. On the outside, Peyton Taylor, the 20 PT from Batesville. He'll start 2nd.
And the 2nd row, Jonesboro, Arkansas's Grayson Moore in the 7. And Dylan Knight makes the trip across the Mississippi from Burleson, Tennessee in the 6K.
Row number 3 is Shane Harris from Sheridan, Arkansas, the 0H, and Chris Carter in the Connie 5, the C5 from Redfield, Arkansas. I met Shane Harris out at Wendell's. They were getting the car ready over there, and Shane said, I've been so busy building fencing across the country. This is only the 2nd night I've been in a car. It's pretty cool to meet Shane. Really cool cat.
I like to consider Shane Mr. October because this is about the time we see him every year.
He gets time, right? Ready here out of turn number 4. And of course, those of you tuning in on the live look-in here on the social channels, be sure to head to imca.tv to watch our A-Mains here tonight. We're going to have a dandy 40-lap IMCA Modified A-Main and your IMCA stock cars as well. Peyton Taylor working the outside of Brad Calhoun, neither willing to lift. It'll be Peyton Taylor, your leader, going to 1.
Well, Peyton Taylor, he likes it. Sparks are flying off the wall. That's how he likes it here at Batesville. And he has taken a commanding lead with Brad Calhoun dropping back to 4th, it looks like. We've got a good battle here for 2nd.
Yeah, Taylor out in front. You've got, let's see, Grayson Moore in that 2nd spot, then Calhoun. Dylan Knight, good run up into the top 4. Shane Harris 5th. Chris Carter rounding out your running order. So we pick up this battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Dylan Knight able to race up into the top 4 here in the early stages.
Well, Calhoun, he bobbles a little bit, and that's going to allow Dylan Knight to close in just a little bit. I don't think there's any two drivers here at Batesville tonight that want to get into the big show as those two gentlemen right there.
Yeah, absolutely. As we continue to make our way through this one, Grayson Moore. Good run here tonight. Last night, Moore was, well, he was 10th last night, so solid top 10 for Grayson Moore here a night ago, and looking to improve on that, running 2nd. Of course, Peyton Taylor, winner of the IMCA Stock Car A-Main on night number 1, and well, he might have just got behind the wheel here for the first time in a long time, but that 0H of Shane Harris has just worked his way here up into the top 4, ringing up Dylan Knight that last time.
Well, Shane Harris is a very good race car driver, no doubt about it. Like I said, he's beginning to reel in the 77 of Brad Calhoun. But Calhoun, also a good race car driver. He'll be hard to pass as we get down to the final stages of this heat race.
The 7 machine of Grayson Moore has inch by inch gotten a little closer here over the last couple of laps of Peyton Taylor. Maybe Taylor a little better this time out of turn number 4. It was about 0.8 of a second the last time, and well, Peyton Taylor able to get that 1/10 of a second back. The separation between those two. The top 2 have a straightaway advantage back to Calhoun. Harris 4th, 5th is Dylan Knight, and we got 1 to go.
And we'll watch as Shane Harris does battle with Brad Calhoun down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Harris could be a little faster on the speedway at this point, but Calhoun will hold on to 3rd off of 2.
Peyton Taylor, the 20 PT, the Cadillac chassis, charging out of turn number 4. Peyton Taylor will win heat race number 5. It'll be Grayson Moore solid in that 2nd spot. Then Calhoun and Harris completing your top 4. So my hunch is we are down nearly to the end of our live look in here at the Batesville Motor Speedway. We enjoyed having you along here. I think maybe, I'm not sure if we got one more heat race or not on the live look in. Either way, head to IMCA TV right now. We're going to have great racing the rest of the night. We appreciate you checking in. Appreciate everybody here in the house that has made their way to Batesville Motor Speedway. Beautiful night once again. It'll be Brandon Smith, the 115 of Floral, Arkansas, on the inside of the first row. On the outside, Troy Shaberg from Amity, Arkansas, the 7S. He starts 2nd.
And then we'll have the 151 out of Mesa, Arizona. That's Tim Ward. Starting alongside Newark, Arkansas's Brian Ritchie.